So this big, famous and powerful, left brain, dominant male checked in on Saturday. It took him till around Tuesday to finally put his cell phone away and trying to manage his corporation when he was supposed to be there in getting centered and getting into his cleansing program and his spiritual practice and everything else. But by this time, he was feeling oh so great by Tuesday night. Wednesday was a day of silence, but he woke up Wednesday. I came around to make rounds, and he was in excruciating, agonizing pain with his left forearm.
Mm-hmm.
And he couldn't understand why. He looked to see if he had been bitten by a spider in this 5-star hotel, or if he had slept on it in an awkward position or whatever, and his wife assured him that nothing strange had happened during the course of the night, and that he really should be getting with his silence. But he was in so much pain that he had to call me, and I had to come examine him and everything else. So we saw that there was, at least on a sort of bare bones, so to speak, physical level, there didn't seem to be much going on from a medical point of view that we could deal with. It was really about, okay, I gave him some exercises for kind of managing stress and centering himself with respect to handling the pain and things of this nature, and encouraged him to stay in his silence. And no matter how much it was hurting, to summon up the strength, the courage, and the faith to just be still, be in his silence, in his meditation. And so he did this. And a few hours later, in the middle of his meditation, all of a sudden he jumped up and realized he had remembered something. He was 56 years of age at the time, and he remembered that at his 8th birthday, he had been given a new bicycle. He was given this new bicycle, took off hauling down the street, and ran into the neighborhood bullies, who jumped on him, knocked him off his bike, and he broke his arm. Busted up his bike, he broke his arm, and all of that joy suddenly turned to shame, suddenly turned to fear, and turned into misery and suffering for him. That all of that information, all of that emotional experience, all of that consciousness got locked into his arm at that time. So yeah, they bandaged him up, and then they casted him, and a few weeks later took off the cast, and his arm was good as new, as the doctor would say. And he went on about his life, but he went on about his life with an intention that he would never let anybody bully him around, which led to this big type A personality, this overdrive hyperachiever, success-oriented, ballsy executive down the road who is wielding all of this power, who's bossing everybody else around. But all of that awareness came to him in that moment of his stillness, when he finally managed to create a space that was not being dominated by his pain and his suffering and his confusion, but just the silence, the stillness that we've been talking about today. And then the memory came up. And once that memory came up of that event, then he called me, I came back, we did a clearing process. And he was able to take that memory and take it to the next level of integration. And the pain was gone in a matter of a few minutes. But that lifetime of shame and all of that emotional charge was locked into those tissues as well. And just as rapidly or readily as it got locked in there, once we found the right combination of the puzzle pieces, as you're saying, once we found that right combination, we were able to put things back together, and consciousness flowed now towards the greater and the higher, which is the healing, which is towards the awakening. So maybe we should take a pause at this point and hope that we will do this again very soon. I think this can be a very useful series of conversations, and please stay tuned. There will be much more to come.
He's laughing because he knows I'm going to have to put a suit on again.
I want to thank to both my brothers, Johnny
My
Seitz, Mikio Sanke. I'm EnRico Melson. Thank you to Taj Gauthier, who's back there behind the camera.
Yeah.
And to all of you who give us your time and your honor of attention to view this and hopefully learn something from it.